Okay, this is for yeratel7, who wants random waves and bobbing. So first, let's start with the bobbing. You need to get a boat or a fishing bobber, whatever you want. Add a force applier to the bottom. And you have to find out what speed will cause it to slowly go down. In this case, it's 10.3 meters a second. Then, you got to figure out what makes it slowly come up, which in this case is 10.4 meters a second. Let's see. 10.3 makes it go down, 10.4 makes it come back up. Jesus, hurry the hell up, Paul. 10.4 up, 10.3 down, 10.4 up. Open a timeline with 2 keyframes, 10.3 at the beginning, 10.4 in the middle, and then 10.3 again. You just make sure that's on the loop. Like so. Here's important. You want the force mode to be pull and the force type to be directional. As you can see, it's just on the bottom of the boat there, keeping it up and down. And once you hit play, there you have it. Up and down bobbing. Oh. Let's see. It starts at 10.3, 10.4, 10.3, 10.4, 10.3, up and down, up and down. That's how you get something bobbing in the water. Just make sure the water is non-collidable. You'll just be smacking into it over and over again. Look at it go. Now for the water. You don't want it to look completely flat. So, fleck properties, make sure there's a slight looseness to it. Hop in modes, style mode, choose your fleck. I went with hatching. There you go. Apply that to the water. So you've got lots of straight lines going across. And from there, fleck properties. Again, keep the looseness. In this case it's 33%, but that's going to change depending on what you want. Same with the effects. In this case, wave at 11.5 and flow at 10. As you can see, it's pretty slow moving at the moment, but you're staying still, so it shouldn't move very fast. Go up. And you can see from there, it's waving up and down slightly. If you turn the flow off, there's no movement going across, it's just up and down. There it is. That. Now, to get it to flow a certain direction, use the cone tool, which I always mess up. Now it's going backwards. It's going backwards, back, do. The appearance that I'm moving forward when I'm not. Here's the part that I think you want. I've added movers to the boat, forward, back, right and left, and I've also attached a keyframe to the forward movement. And you'll do the same with left, right, and back, but that's entirely up to you. At that keyframe, what does that do? Go to effects, check out flow, and it's at 10%. As soon as you hit the keyframe, or the forward button, pops up to 50. Which you can't see right now, because there's tons of diagonal lines in the way. And it's poor quality, it's only 360p for some reason. But when you do hit it, in test mode, here we go, moving quite slowly, then you press up, and hopefully you can see this. If I press up eventually, see it moves much, much faster. Slight problem with the mover though, makes me go up, instead of just bobbing up and down, I just keep going up and up and up and up and up. Quite simple. Just need to point down a bit. So that's all it took. Now, go back. Test mode. We'll only go forward now. And as you can see, hopefully, the flecks are moving much faster when you move forward. Now you can change that to random if you want by simply adding a randomizer before the keyframe. So you press up, it'll go to the randomizer, which will then go to a keyframe that you have set to whatever. Put that on a timer or on a counter, go for a few seconds, and then switch to a completely different one, which will change the wave and flow settings to whatever you want. Now as you can see, I've added a controller from the boat that also goes various splitters up, down, left, right, forward, back, left, and right. That's also on the water sculpture, all pointing in the same direction, but while the boat is at 5 meters a second, the water's at 4.5. So when you're moving forward, instead of the boat just speeding across, it will move slightly faster than the water itself, but because I've changed the effect, the flow effect on it, it'll make it seem as if it's going faster than it really is. Which is why I've added these sculpts here, because there's no way you can tell what's going on in this big empty void. But I've added these sculpts to it, so that way when I am moving, which will be eventually, as you can see, the boat moves forward, the water moves forward as well. The flow of going backward gets faster, so it looks as if you're going forward when you're really not. Important thing, you have to apply those effects to each sculpture. The reason I have a small flat one here, the smaller the sculpture, the smaller the flex. So if I make it much, much, much bigger, change the looseness, that looks like garbage. Slightly translucent, sure, but it looks like crap. And if you make it bigger, flecks become bigger, and I don't think that looks pretty good. They automatically look looser than they really are. So, I've added some sculpts in there, so you can see what appears to be speed. We're only going 5 meters a second. The water is making it look much faster though. And that'll be, I don't know, an island, a pirate ship, a big whale jumping out of the water. That's entirely up to you. There you have it. The boat moves, the water moves with it, but with the flow it appears like it's zooming across, but it isn't. Hopefully that helps.